Yo, what is up, guys? G from EastSideMiniMobberz here, back again with another mini bike video. And in this video, check out the brand new project. Montage time. So check out the new project. You can see this thing is a pretty legit little rig here. You can already see it's got a Predator 212 on this thing, which is a very nice touch. It's also got a stage 1 kit as well with the upgraded air filter, the adapter, and the pipe. So that's also a very nice touch. And believe it or not, I picked this thing up for $100 about a year and a half ago. And I bought it from a very nice, cool kid. It was just sitting in his yard for a few years, and it ended up sitting in my yard for a few years. And now I'm finally getting to it, finally gonna get this thing going and kind of get this thing cleaned up and see where I wanna go with it. Last time I had this running, like I said, was probably about a year and a half ago. When I first originally got it, I got it running, and that was pretty much it. I just left it, didn't really do anything with it. So now I am ready to kind of take on this bike here and get it going and kind of flip it and make it look pretty cool. So you can see, obviously, it was sitting outside in the kid's yard for a while, and it was sitting outside in mine. So the tires, I'm gonna assume, are probably shot. I don't know if they'll hold air or not, so I might have to put new wheels and tires on it. But other than that, this thing seems like it's in pretty good condition. There's no cracks or anything in the frame or anything like that that needs to be, you know, severely fixed, like welding it or anything like that. But you can see some of the fasteners are kind of rusty that I might switch out, and that sort of thing. And the gas, I'm presuming, is probably bad, of course, for at least sitting in my yard for a year and a half, but sitting in the kid's yard. So who knows, that's probably three years of old gas right there. So that'll definitely get cleaned and flushed and drained. I'm gonna go ahead and go through the carburetor again as well, because I did that when I first bought the bike a year and a half ago. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through everything on this thing and get this running and riding. I don't really have any plans for this one specifically. I might end up selling this and flipping it because I did get it for $100, so I got a really good deal on it. And I think I could make a decent profit if I was to just clean this up, repaint it, get it running and riding where it's safe for somebody, and definitely sell it and probably make a little bit of a profit there, just because I already have a lot of mini bikes as it is, and I need to kind of, you know, thin out the herd a little bit. So I think this is one that I will end up flipping. So just to get a little overview on this bike, it's actually pretty nice, especially for sitting out in the sun for a while. The seat's really not in that bad of a condition. It did come with a clutch and the chain, but obviously you can see this is kind of, I probably wouldn't use it. It's a little too rusty for me. But anyways, with all that being said, let's just get straight into this thing. I think the first thing I'm actually going to do is just start disassembling everything. I'm going to take the whole pipe off, going to take the motor out, just get this thing stripped down to bare bones and give it a nice little wash, make sure it's all cleaned up, and then we might start looking into the fasteners and maybe looking into this paint here. You can see this is the faded original paint or powder coat, whatever MotoVox used back then. So I might actually be able to just throw a layer of clear coat on it and make it look pretty good. Maybe in some spots have to hit it with some black spray paint to kind of patch that up a little bit, but anything just to make it look pretty good. So with all that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, and as you can see, this clutch is toast. We'll go ahead and toss that. And to get this chain off, a lot of chains still have a master link on here. You can actually see there's 2 on this chain here. So if we just get our pliers, put it right on here. Might be a little finicky because this is kind of rusty, but just like that, it'll pop straight off. Get your screwdriver in here to kind of flex it out because it is a little rusty. You see that'll come right off, and your chain can go off and into the garbage. All right, and the next thing that we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna take this pipe off, and we're using a 13mm socket on our 1/4 inch ratchet here. Then grab a hold of the pipe so it doesn't fall. And you can see it'll come straight out. And you can see this thing's actually in pretty decent condition. It's just a little rusty. So what I'm actually planning on doing is giving this a quick sand down and spray painting it with some high temperature silver paint, which I think will actually kind of restore the look of this. There's the pipe, and don't forget about the little gasket. All right, and the next thing I'm actually gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna take this seat off just so I can get it off the bike, especially if I'm gonna paint the bike as well. But also I'm just gonna go ahead and take this off, clean it up, throw some leather conditioner on there and kind of make this thing look like new. If you go ahead and actually look underneath, it might be kind of hard to see on the camera, but there is one 13mm bolt. There's an array of bolts here because there's a 13mm, there's a 10mm, there's another 10mm up there. So kind of mismatched a little bit, but anyways, we're just gonna go ahead and start removing this. There's that one. And then there's one more up at the front, right underneath the seat here. Kind of hard to see. And just like that, the seat can come right off. I'm gonna give this a nice wash. Might even throw some sort of leather conditioner oil on there just to kind of rejuvenate this. All right, so I'm gonna get working on getting this throttle cable removed. You can see it's just a Phillips head and a 10mm. Pull that cable straight through. And then there's another Phillips head here that just clamps on the end of the throttle cable. And if we just loosen this up just enough, should be able to get that out of there. Now, with that being disconnected, we're gonna come down here to our kill switch. This should just pull out, just like that. I'm also gonna disconnect this little black connector here, just so we can get it free, just like that. So now this is free. We just have to remove our ground wire right there. And then with my ratchet and the extension and my 8mm socket, the ground wire can come straight off. All right, and we're making pretty good progress here. You can see we got quite a bit of stuff actually removed from this bike. You can see the angle of the rear end of this is pretty drastic. I don't know if this got hit pretty good in the back. I'm gonna assume so because you can see it's pretty messed up. Or you know what, maybe what happened with the 212 and the notorious 75 tooth sprocket on here from the factory, someone probably gave it a little bit too much gas, and I bet any money scraped it, because that's exactly what that looks like right there. And they probably looped the bike because you can see it's definitely bent up. I might try to pound that down a little bit. But now with some of the other parts off of this, we're gonna work on getting this motor out of here. As far as I'm concerned, this motor's in pretty good shape, pretty good condition, but there is some stuff that needs to be done to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually work on getting this out of here. All right, so I have moved the mini bike off of the stand here to get it on the ground, because with the stand I can't really access the nuts and bolts here that actually hold the motor on with it being on the stand. So now it's on the ground and it's gonna be a little bit difficult to film, but I figured I would show you. You can see on these motors, there is 4 bolts that are holding it on. You can see 2 in the back here, which are 12mm, and then same with the front here. You can see there is 2 bolts and nuts there holding it on, 12mm. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove both of those, and then the motor should be able to come right on out. All right, so you can see I got the bike back up on the stand. All 4 of the bolts with the washers and the nuts are out. But other than that, this thing should be ready to come out. Usually where I like to kind of grab the motors when I pull them out, so I pull them out safely. But if you want to grab it underneath the gas tank right there, that's a pretty good firm spot to grab. Especially you can see on the block here where it comes and connects to the gas tank right there. That's a pretty good area to go ahead and grab the motor. It's a pretty structurally intact part there, along with underneath the head right there underneath the valve cover. That's a pretty good spot I like to usually grab. Like I said, just pick it up and it comes straight out. And we'll just set that to the side there. And you can see it is a bare bones frame almost. And you can see how just dirty, looks like mud. This thing was probably ripped pretty heavily, I would assume. Mud oil mixture it looks like. But anyways, to keep on moving here, I think the next thing I'm actually going to go ahead and do is remove the brakes and start working on removing the handlebars. All right, so the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to start removing the brakes here. if you can see, there's 2 Allen bolts that hold this thing on. You could also just remove the whole cable. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the whole cable as well. And it's kind of like earlier with the cable, how it goes through for the throttle on this, except this is a banjo bolt and it's got a 10mm nut on there. So we'll just hold this so it doesn't stretch the cable and loosen this on up. And now there's enough play to pull your cable out, and this pulls straight out of there. And we can just get some cutters and cut those zip ties. But the next thing I'm also gonna go ahead and do as well is I'm gonna remove this whole brake caliper here with just 2 Allen bolts that are holding it on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. I have my ratchet here with my 1/4 inch socket on here, which just so happens to fit these bits I have. And this whole caliper just comes right off. And you can see this is a pretty traditional regular mechanical brake caliper. These aren't very good, especially if you do a Predator 212. These don't stop very well. And then you can kind of see how it works. When you pull it, you can see it presses it in and it pretty much stops the bike. All right, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the handlebars here. It is a 10mm wrench up on the top of the bolt here and a 13mm for the nut down here. All right, and you can see we got both brackets off, and this can come right off and be put to the side. Now I think the next thing I'm gonna go ahead and do is remove the front and rear wheel on this, just so it is a bare bones frame. I actually have another mini bike that's a parts bike that I might just throw those wheels and tires on because they're a lot better condition and they hold air. So I might actually end up just getting rid of these ones here or selling them and putting on the other ones. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and start working on this front wheel. All right, so now I'm gonna work on getting the wheels off. You can see I have my 14mm wrench on there, and then I have my 19mm socket on this side, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove the front wheel. And you can see this will come off with a washer. And then when this slides out, there'll be 2 spacers in here. And this is probably gonna wanna fall back because the weight's being transferred. So you can see there's 1 spacer that just fell. And then the other one's right there. The wheel can come off. There's that other one. And the rear is actually the exact same, 14mm, 19mm. All right, and then you can see there is a nut here with a washer on it. That will come off, and then there's gonna be 2 spacers in the middle. Make sure if you're doing this, because I'm probably going to adjust some stuff on this bike, but if this is your personal bike that you have rode, make sure you take note of which spacer is on which side, because they're probably going to be different distances, depending how the bike was built, of course. And obviously, if you don't take note of it and you switch them around, this is going to be at a different angle, and it's not going to line up with your brake caliper, and your chain is not going to line up with your tensioner or the motor, which is the most important. So with that being said, you can go ahead and grab this out. There's that one that just fell, and then it comes out just like that. There's that, and make sure you put your arm around the end of this like I am here, because if you don't, this will probably want to flip up, and this back tail end of this will hit you right in your jaw. Ask me how I know. So make sure you have a hold on that, because see, look at, if I didn't, it would have fallen and fell forward. So reposition that where it's stable. And now the wheels are out of this thing. So now the next thing that there really is to do to this is to take off the front forks here, remove the kill switch and the wiring there. That's pretty simple, just got to cut the wires, and go ahead and remove the tensioner and the kickstand here. And it's going to be a bare bones chassis. All right, so I'm actually going to remove the front forks real quick with a 16mm wrench on the top there and a 17mm on the very bottom here. Now there should be a nut with a washer on the very end of this here, and then the bolt with the washer on the top just pop right out, and your forks can come right off just like that. you can see we're moving right along here with it. We're gonna go ahead and remove that kill switch right now. All right, now this is completely loose. We'll just cut our zip ties here. And that can come right off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this chain tensioner here. You can see it's a 10mm and a 13mm at the back, which will initially remove this first bolt here. And there's two more things that I would like to do to this. I'm gonna go ahead and take the foot pegs off and then that kickstand off. So foot pegs, you kind of are seeing a little bit of a pattern here, 13mm and 13mm here. And that is what's gonna get this removed. All right, and you can see we got the nut off on here. It's kind of hard to see, but this thing's been hit in quite a bit. It's kind of stuck on there pretty good. And always make sure the orientation of this, when you put this on, you can see the way the spring is. Want to make sure you take note of that, because if you put it on a different way or whatnot, this might not have that retraction that you want. So if you're going around the corner and it drags, it'll be able to move up. You don't want this to be a solid piece here. But anyways, this bolt's a little bit stuck in there, so we're just going to get our hammer, give it a little love tap for it to come straight out like that. And then, like I said, take note of the spring on here, the way it's positioned on the peg. And last but not very least, we're gonna go ahead and remove this kickstand here, which happens to be a 17mm at the very back for the nut. And then our bit set, so we can go ahead and remove this piece. And just like that, it is removed. So now this is a completely bare chassis. Nothing's installed on this other than the neck bearings there, but that's something I can easily just tape off when I do go to paint this thing. And other than that, the next video will be showing pretty much how to get this thing painted and ready. Make sure you guys leave a comment on what color I should actually go and paint this. All right, and would you check it out? This bike is 100% stripped. You can see everything has been removed from it, and it is ready for the next video. The next video, we are going to be straightening this thing out, like making sure the steering stop is straight, pounding this back out so it's straight. You can see I had a little impact there with the foot peg, and bending this back section down, which I'll be showing you how to do that. Also, I'm going to be cleaning this next video and painting it. So comment down below what color this bike should be. Like I said, I'm not going to be keeping it. I'm going to be flipping this bike. So something that is, I guess, appeals to everyone, I should say, that would be good for a resale value. Maybe like a neon yellow or a neon green might not be the best, but I was thinking of maybe like a black metallic with a metallic flake in it, or either like a maroon red might look kind of cool. So leave your comments down below of what color you think this bike should be. With all that being said, you can see it is 100% stripped. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe it, and stay tuned for the next video on this bike and the next videos in general. We got a lot that's going to be coming out, and you guys do not want to miss it. So make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and stay tuned. Peace.